Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match number 2 of the Diomed versus Jonesy match. The situation is on the screen there. That's the final pairings. I'm working down the list. This is Necromantic versus Dark Elves. The Necro won 2-1 in the first game, having, I would say, some pretty fortuitous kick-off events going their direction. They removed an elf immediately, and then they've had 3 sweaty heats. It is the World of Ruble, which is Diomed playing in what is probably going to be red, because I'm not going to do these 2 colours. And it's a tribute to DBBL, played by Jonesy on the Dark Elf team. And the Necro are receiving again. They won the kickoff again. Maybe, just maybe, the Dark Elves get to play an entire game with 11 players. Let's have a look. We'll watch this from the offensive point of view. And I'm often curious to see how you would play this with a 1-wolf setup, and whether or not you can actually stabilise an anti-blitz. It looks like he's found a reasonably decent anti-blitz 1 turn. Jonesy now got 4 rerolls, and the ball has gone quite deep. This is basically as good as it gets for Dark Elves. Ball's gone deep. This guy's a bit too far. I always like setting him 1 back, just in case the ball does go deep. I think we're going to see a wolf blitz, presumably. And then a cover. And I'd like the Dark Elf to go bombing forward here. That's what I'd like to see. Find a gap, punch through it, get in. Go. Especially if the ball isn't picked up. He flubs the pick. Right. Okay. Well, how's he doing this then? He's not going to dive it, is he? He's not going to dive it. He's going to stay there. Oh. Okay. We get to see the other side of the coin where, instead of being... Wow. He is going to dive, just very aggressively. This touching's fine, but I would have probably gone through here. Interesting. That's got to be the blitz from the Necro perspective. So you're probably going to see, what, the Wraith come in here, maybe? Yeah. And then he's going to blitz and push this north. So this is why, if you can get two threats through, they can blitz 1, but you'll still definitely have another threat. The fact that he's managed to knock this over now removes... Oh dear. That's got to be an instant Apo. Apo. Yep. And now there's no threat on the ball. Look. So if we'd flooded through, the ball pickup now is an adventure. 11% of the time, he doesn't pick the ball up, and we see a problem. But by standing on the halfway line, we don't have that level of jeopardy. And the Dark Elves have lost a blitzer. A good one. And they have to win this as well. So not only do they don't really want to play a 0-0 half, they really do need to actually aim at a defensive touchdown. And he says, so do I, Andy. One square, the sweet spot is the way to go. Absolutely, yeah. Big Chi-Chi says, Andy, are you going to find any time to play Path of Exile 2? I know you're a PoE enjoyer. I'm very much a Path of Exile enjoyer, yes. I am trying to work out how I'm going to try and fit a little bit of PoE 2 in, but I don't have early access, so there's that, which is a shame. This is nice. This is good. Now they need to stop the ball going to the pretty obvious space of over here. And the problem is, just by putting 1 piece in... Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ball's going there, isn't it? And he's also still got a choice of blitz. He needs to be... People need to be more aggressive. They need to play a much more aggressive line more frequently. in my opinion. Thulian says, I'll give you an aggressive line, cunt. You missed out the last word. I can't believe you missed it. Unbelievable. Oh, this has got this demonetized, hasn't it? Oh, for a cheap joke as well. Where's L-Plate when you need him? Baron Bucky says, yeah, there are a bunch of Dark Elves in the Fumble Leagues, and the coaches who come out win I'm a Bash team do a lot better than the ones who hang back. Yes. Does anyone on the other team wear armor breaks? So what have we lost? We've lost a dead and a KO versus a KO. Yeah. It's very tricky, right? Because the standing offline of play, people can learn that fairly early on, and they tend to get consistent results out of it. And against anyone but very strong players, it's fine, it works. But I think the very best players tend to be able to solve it. And there's a fairly good sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? A fairly good way of thinking about this, which is that the very best players will be posing you questions every turn. If you don't pose them very many questions, then they will be able to do whatever they like on their turn. And really what you're actually saying then is the very best players get to do whatever they want on their turns. That does seem like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? Like in general terms. Like this I like as a well, I don't like it as an Necro coach. I think it's good play from the Dark Elves. They're picking on stuff and they're bullying. This is an interesting pick because it's forcing the wolf to not go anywhere. So once you start being a bit aggressive, you are getting some value. Where this drive is going to fall over, and ooh, maybe it's not. Where this could have fallen over is the Necro could have potentially tried to charge forward a bit further because they've got the block here. Now he's choosing to stay put. And this is where the Dark Elves I would flip as the Dark Elves and change from a pressure-based approach to a column defense-based approach. Because I've managed to hold you on the halfway line, and it's now going to be the start of your 6. If I can do that, you're not going to go anywhere. Blitzing the flesh. No, we're not doing that. I'd have taken that as a block. Oh! One wolf build in trouble. Regen, not a fake skill. Who's a lucky Necro coach? Wowzers. Holy moly, wow. But yeah, I like this. I like this as the blitz because it costs you the guy that you don't want to get hit putting in. You blitz here and he gets away. And you can still take that 2D afterwards. But this is okay. This is where Necro can fall apart, where they've got to try and get the ball upfield, and they've got a load of strength, movement 4 pieces based. Diomed's going to have a... This is asking for trouble from Diomed. This is nowhere near as composed as his last game. I think the Dark Elves should be thinking about getting an actual stop here. Wow, we were. I think the Dark Elves... I'm... Oh dear. Alright, 3 removals. Don't be another one. Oh, the turn. Just the wrong turn to be getting oodles of removals. But you can stick the Dark Elf Blodger on here. Yeah, you just go and tag everything again. Take the hit. I think that's really a shame from the Dark Elf perspective, because those two players being basically just rammed in front of his face at this point would make all the difference. As it is, I suppose the Necro are going to only get to move the minimum of just the cage forward. 4 removals, 1 was medic. 3, because that was the medic. It was the stun. He's had 3 removals because that was apothecaried. So the ball has to be stood here to be in scoring range. I presume that's actually where it's going to go. Flesh Golem at the front. Zombarino at the back. We on 3 rerolls. Wow. He's going to go on double go for it, double go for it. Not quite 8% failure to not make this work, but not great. Where the flipping hell are you going? Oh no, that's going to be into 3Ds. Oh, you've not thought that through. Oh dear. That could have been into 2, we just had to cancel this. And we have a player here not doing anything. Oh dear. One of the minor fly in the ointment here, which is the ghoul wants to go that way. So that dodge want to be stood this side because they want to be blocking where the ghoul's going, not trying to hold on to its tail. Blitz forward with the ghoul. If you roll a pow, you'd have to dodge. Oh, even cleverer. Cleverer. This is nice. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Makes the dodge. And scores. Nicely done. So now the Dark Elves need 2 touchdowns or they're going home. KO wakes up. KO does not wake up. And the Dark Elves are probably not finding a 1-turn in this. Not with 10 players. We'll skip forward to the point where the 1-turn is available. Yeah, there's... I don't think there's a 1-turn here because of the... Even though you can crowd the Wraith, I don't think it's possible. I think I just take the hits. You were looking for a solid defense or something else. I'd throw a reroll at that. Fortunate. Uh-oh. 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 I was going to sidestep to there, and that was going to be 2 dice uphill. That wasn't thought through. Still no KO recovery. So, Diomed needs to avoid conceding 2 touchdowns in 1 half to advance. Let's see what sort of setup he goes for. He knows the Dark Elves need to score quickly, so he's gone for, broadly, a very aggressive defense. The Dark Elves cannot dack at this. They've got to just go and smash through. That is an unhelpful kick if you're a Dark Elf. All right. Scoring threat engaged. Good setup from Diomed. This is going to cause problems. Be wider would be my advice to the Dark Elves here. Because although they're probably going to get this blitzed, if you go wide, what you're going to create is the conditions that you don't know, the Necro don't know where you're going to go. By being a real narrow column, the Necro are going to be able to control this. And you know that they're going to blitz the one scoring threat because they just need to delay this, right? The Necro, if they don't care about conceding, what they don't want to do is concede in 3 turns. So he'll probably hold his shape and hold his line. I think these guys might actually get shoved in as well, yeah. And then everything else will stay. These two will come forward and then he stays put, I think. He'll do it again, isn't he? He's going to do it again and try. Okay. A very, very different stratagem. Well, Baron Bookie, the sprint mode is going to make all the games matter, I think. I think people can claim that the Blood Bowl 2 ladder, in terms of as close as you could get back to it, is going to reappear for next season. Is that a foul? No, I think you can just leave it on the floor. Would have been contented to probably put 2 people here and here to stop it escaping. But this shape here is quite weak. He's had to throw a reroll at that. What's sprint mode? So those of you who haven't kept abreast of everything that's happened over the last few days, there are some changes afoot to season, the next season. It's going to be trialed next season with a spirit ranking, and the idea is that, oh dear, your record after 20 games will be stored, and then in season 8 it'll be a method of qualification for the ladder. For the chalice. So, I think that's good. Am I happy with the running cost change being changed? Yeah, I was the one that suggested it, so yes. It's literally my idea. Dark Elves losing 2 more in 2 blocks again. Wow. The armor for the Dark Elves really hasn't held. It's 20 games on 1 team. So it's a sprint mode. Dark Elf armor just hasn't changed. It's been changed. So randoming on primaries still costs the same as randoming on normal skills. But randoming on secondaries is still cheaper. And the reasoning for the randoming on secondaries still being cheaper was because some teams need, in inverted commas, the ability to be able to random on secondary skills. Otherwise, they lose any competitive. You're not catching the competitive edge back up again. Whereas some teams, the competitive edge they were getting through firing and hiring people chasing down cheap guard was more advantageous for the people to do that. Right, can we see them getting through? Maybe. I mean, the fundamental problem is that randoming and such, Jesus, he keeps failing dodges. Thank God he's got dodge on his team. Is that the rule set isn't designed for a ladder environment. So a decision point has to be reached, which is either you don't mess with the rule set and you just accept that it doesn't work for a ladder, or you have to step outside the rule set and you can make changes that helpful. And that was one of several different ideas that were tabled. So he needs to dodge out to sack here. Remember, the Dark Elves have to score twice here. This one touchdown is not good enough. Even if they get one. Doesn't find the put. Pow. Diomed probably... He doesn't choose to eat it. Wow. No eating of choosing. Which elf? Oh, he just dodges. Fine. Oh, poor Dark Elves. Didn't get their KOs. 2 KOs back. So he did get... Oh, he got 4. He had 4 KOs. He got 2 back. Okay, so he's got to try and somehow stop Diomed with 1 reroll and 9 players. And not just stop him, tip him over. This is some ask. This is some ask. And he's got 3 turns. He's got 3 turns to do it as well. Oh my. I presume we're going to see a serve? That just removes the number of possible elves that can do nasty things to him. Strangely, he left that on. I'm not sure why he would have left that on. It wasn't a mistake. It was deliberate. I wonder why he did that. Ball has been picketed-upped. It's a successful picketed-upped. The Dark Elves are going to absolutely have to smash through this, chase down the line, and they've just got to get through. Not a position you want to be in as a Dark Elf. That's basically a KO at this stage. Oh dear. Unhelpful. So, last couple of turns, the Dark Elves, he's just going to put this inside a box, presumably. He's going to block there. He's going to stick guard on opposite corners. And the Dark Elves are going to have to, no matter what, they're going to have to go and put a scoring threat in. And they're going to have to dive the ball. It's looking very heavily like Diomed is going through. Very strongly. So, put a scoring threat in first. I think the jump up Witch Elf should go in and be a scoring threat. In she goes. Looking for a ball sack on the unlikely. She gets in. At least we're not going to see 3 dice uphill chase. Doesn't have strip ball, so is not good enough. But can put a little bit more pressure in, right? We have to put 2 scoring threats in, otherwise he just blitzes 1 and then that's the end of that. And then we can go and follow this, and we can put the other elf in. He sort of stood there. But ultimately, Diomed just needs to hold. 1-1 is good enough. No armor break, so she can't stand there. Ball goes back in the box. Nice. Nice. Doesn't find the armor break, but that is quite funny. So we are into last chance saloon, and the last chance saloon has unfortunately come up dry. So congratulations to Diomed. He manages to make it through after 1 win and 1 draw. Strong showing. The Dark Elves really struggled in that one. Let's have a look at the statisticals. Flip me. You do not want to be giving away 55 blocks. That is quite a lot. So although he managed to do 2 or 3 times as many blocks himself as in the first game, where we were able to find the block stats, taking 55 blocks to the face is just too much. The Dark Elves were not. They were neither pressing enough nor standing off enough. They were doing that quasi half and half, and that meant that the Diomed was able to pick them apart in the second game. I think the Dark Elves probably should have just gone absolutely crazy to charge through in the first half and chase down the defensive touchdown. If they'd got that, maybe something else happens, but they couldn't afford to concede the touchdown in the first half. It was too big an ask. So congratulations, Diomed. Commiserations to the Dark Elves. Right, on to the next one.